Imagine working every single day, saving money, skipping vacations, avoiding expensive purchases, doing everything people told you to do. Yet somehow, buying a home feels more impossible than ever. Why? Your parents bought houses in their 20s. Your grandparents sometimes bought them with a single income. But today, even people with good job are struggling just to afford rent. So what changed? Was it greed? Was it inflation? Did investors buy every house? Or is there something much bigger happening behind the scenes? The answer, well, isn't as simple as most people think. Because this isn't happening in just one country. It's happening in America, Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, South Korea, even parts of Europe, different governments and different cultures, exactly the same problem. Today, owning a home has become one of the biggest financial challenges of an entire generation. Millions of people are asking the same question. If previous generations could do it, why can't we? The answer begins over 50 years ago, long before housing prices exploded, long before interest rates changed, long before social media. Because the real story, quote, starts with one decision that quietly changed the global economy forever. Let's go back to the 1970s. Back then, buying a house wasn't easy, but for millions of families, it was realistic. A teacher, a factory worker, or a police officer could often afford a home with years of hard work. Today, that feels almost impossible. So what changed? Most people blame greedy landlords or wealthy investors. While those play a role, they're not the real reason. The biggest change happened quietly. Inside the global financial system, over the last few decades, governments and central banks dramatically increased the amount of money in circulation. Every time more money enters the economy, the purchasing power of each dollar slowly falls. That doesn't just affect groceries. It affects houses, too. Think about it this way. Imagine there are only 10 houses in your town. Now imagine everyone suddenly has access to much more money. Did the number of houses increase? No. But the number of buyers did. More money. Same number of homes. Prices rise. It's simple supply and demand. Then something else happened. For years, interest rates stayed historically low. Borrowing money became cheaper than ever. Suddenly, millions of people could qualify for larger mortgages. Sounds like good news, but it wasn't. Because when everyone can borrow more, everyone starts bidding higher, and house prices climb even faster. But if cheap loans were the only problem, houses would eventually become affordable again. They didn't. Instead, prices kept climbing, year after year, even when salaries couldn't keep up. So, what was pushing them even higher? The answer is surprisingly simple. For many people, a house stopped being just a place to live. It became an investment, something to buy, hold and sell later for a profit. And once millions of people started thinking that way, the market changed forever. Then came large investors, investment funds, real estate companies, institutional buyers. Instead of purchasing one house, they could buy hundreds, sometimes even thousands, competing directly against ordinary families. Imagine you're trying to buy your first home. You saved for years. Finally, you make an offer, but then a company arrives with cash. No mortgage, no waiting, no negotiations, just an instant purchase. Who do you think the seller chooses as more homes became investments? Fewer homes remained available for first-time buyers. Demand kept rising. Supply struggled to keep up, and prices continued climbing. The result? Owning a home slowly transformed from something ordinary into something many young people now see as almost impossible. So, does this mean home ownership is over? Not exactly, but it does mean the rules have changed. The world your parents bought a house in no longer exists today. Building a home cost more. Land is more expensive. Construction materials cost more. Labor costs more. And in many major cities, there simply isn't enough space to keep up with demand. The result? Prices continue to rise. At the same time, millions of people are competing for the same limited number of homes. Some are buying to live. Others are buying to invest. And every year, more people enter the market than new homes are built. It's a simple equation. More buyers, not enough houses, higher prices. Some governments have tried to, in a slow the crisis, higher interest rates, taxes on investors, affordable housing programs, new construction projects. Some have helped. Others have had little effect. Because housing markets are influenced by dozens of factors, not just one. But one thing is becoming increasingly clear. For many young people, buying a home now takes far longer than it did for previous generations. Some wait until their 30s, others into their 40s, and many simply continue renting, not because they want to, but because they have no other choice. The dream of owning a home hasn't disappeared. It has simply become harder to reach. And unless housing supply grows, or incomes begin rising faster than prices, that challenge may continue for years to come. The question is no longer, can I buy a house? It's becoming, what kind of future can I build if I never do? That may be one of the biggest economic questions of our generation. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more videos exploring the hidden forces shaping our world. Because sometimes understanding the economy is the first step to understanding your future.